Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Kyle Beachy.
And I'm Janice Rebholz. How often do you see someone standing on the side of the road with a sign asking for help? Well, if you thought that you've seen more over the last year, you're right.
But they might not always be what they seem. So I went out to find out why in this special report, Panhandling in Peoria.
It's become an epidemic. It's all over the city.
At the mall, traffic lights, bus stations, and all across Peoria, panhandling is a problem.
With Interstate 74 closed down, the traffic patterns caused friendliness to panhandling.
John Roque is executive director of Peoria Rescue Ministries. They're just one of several agencies in the River City serving those in need.
We've seen more visibility to panhandling.
So I went out into the streets of Peoria to get a closer look at panhandling in our city.
Hey man, how's it going? It's going? What's your name?
They call me Lightning.
This is Lightning. He says he's been standing out here by Schnucks on University 4 or 5 days a week for 2 years.
We got a felony record like I got. You don't get too much. And medical I got going on isn't too good.
Are you being successful at it?
Yeah, I've been successful.
But not everyone you see on the street has a story like Lightning.
Every situation with an individual experiencing homelessness is different.
Sarah Runyon is Executive Vice President for Phoenix Community Development, another resource for the homeless in Peoria.
They feel invisible most times. We're just talking about individuals that have the same needs we do.
And most of them unwilling to talk.
Can I talk to you real quick? Okay. He ain't gonna talk to us.
You know, there's economic reasons. There's life-controlling circumstances. That might be mental health. That might be addiction.
A lot of them do it for drugs, smoke, to drink. I don't do that one. A lot of guys know me.
The interesting part is a lot of those folks aren't homeless.
So what do you do? What do you do when you leave here?
Go back.
Where do you go back to? Do you have a house, an apartment?
It's a small place I live in.
Okay. So
I do this to be able to stay living.
Are there professionals, scammers in that, doing that? There are. And yet in the same sense, they're still struggling.
Longtime Peoria resident Artie Fowler says he's tired of seeing the business of panhandling firsthand. During the pandemic, he says he was laid off and noticed a strange man and woman in his neighborhood a lot.
She'd go do her job. And he's sitting in a nice late model car, waiting on her to make money.
So one day he followed her out to the road, he says, to put an end to it.
But she usually stands right there where the yellow mark is, where she stands. And where I go is right here on this side, and I'll hold that sign.
And it worked. He says they stopped showing up. Should I give him $5?
Wow, well that's a personal decision, Kyle. I don't know. I do oftentimes. I'm not saying that it always goes to good things, right? But I think if you're just giving out of the goodness of your heart, just remembering that even sometimes some of our homeless individuals who are now in housing still are struggling to meet basic needs.
But even experts sometimes disagree.
Often giving money to panhandlers, especially cash, might be the worst thing we can do. Even though our hearts want to help, we want to reach out, we want to do the right thing.
So what can be done about panhandling in Peoria? Well, nothing. It's legal. From 2003 to August 17th of 2018, it was illegal in Peoria. That's before a federal court ruled that bans on panhandling violate the First Amendment.
On a given corner and a given day and a given scenario, they can do pretty well, if you want to call it that.
I've been very successful. I've got quite a bit.
Oftentimes $50 to $75 a day.
Until the people quit feeding this habit, we're going to continue to have that in the city.
Every sign that you will see by somebody out on the street probably will say, I'm homeless. They might not technically be that because they might actually have a home to go to. But yet they're still not, I would say they're not home in the sense of what home really entails, which is a supportive relationship.
Reporting in Peoria for Heart of Illinois ABC, I'm Kyle Beachy.